Hey Diversity Champions, it's Roslyn here from Diversity Inclusion, and today we're going to talk about e-services. Now, e-services is a tool that we have at Minnesota State University Mankato that shows us everything about our account, from our classes to our financial aid, to ordering books, to getting our housing, and maybe even our meal plan. This is an all-inclusive service that we have here that helps students figure out what they need and what they need to do and how to navigate it. So I'm going to show you how to use e-services by logging into an account, going through some of the common things that students use, and sometimes some of the things that students might not know how to use. So let's get into it. Okay, so now I'm on the main Mankato website. Just do mankato.mnsu.edu. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. So here on this main website, you'll see future students, current students, alumni, faculty, but what we want is current students. So click on current students, scroll down, and you can see all the different things that are just readily available to you all. D2L, emails, OneDrive, but we're gonna click on e-services. Okay, so you can also search it if you wanted to do that way. There's like a little search bar, but it doesn't hurt to like click through it. On this page, you're gonna log in with your star ID and password. I'm just gonna press pause real quick. Okay, so now that we've officially logged into our e-services, this is what our dashboard looks like. Here it shows, a quick summary of what you need and what you have to do and all your action items. So up top, you see your action items. Here you might find your holds. Maybe you'll have a balance that you need to pay. This person has an employee wage notice that they need to look at. Also, you can see the classes that you're in. And if you scroll down, you can see your FAFSA that's on file for all the different colleges that you attend. All of the colleges in the Minnesota State system are all are interconnected, so you can see your bills and stuff for each university. So next, I'm just going to go through everything that's on the left-hand side, and hopefully y'all learned some cool things today, maybe some things you knew, or maybe some things that y'all don't know. So let me click on home. There's not much on the home page. It just kind of gives you another quick summary of things that are going on in your services. Next is account management. Here in account management, you can see some of your tax documents for your family or for yourself, and your wages as well. But what's really cool in account management is the part where you can update your name and your address info. Scrolling down, you can change your name to be a preferred name. So maybe you don't want to use your legal name in your classes and you have this other name that you like to go by or you chose. You can update it here. It can change it so that like class rosters show your preferred name versus your given legal name. Also, it updates your email, so that can reflect who you are and what your name is. I will say it does not change what's legally in the record. So like in the main record system that we use, that will still show your legal name, but in terms of your classes and whatnot, it'll show your preferred names. And we can actually see your preferred name in the system. So like if we're looking in there and we see that you have a preferred name, we can refer off of that. You can also put your addresses, change those, whether it's local, permanent, for your diploma, next of kin. Yes. So next, I'm going to click on courses and registration. So here is, this is a tool that a lot of people use probably the most. Between that and probably financial aid, you'll search for a course, review your plan, modify your schedule. You can see what holds you have, where to enter your access code, and when it's time to register. So I'm going to click on search for a course. So here, like I said, a lot of people have used this. You can choose your different subjects. You can put the course number if you know it. You can choose if it's available or if you want to see everything that's available. You can choose different delivery methods, whether it's completely online, if it's in our FlexSync high flex situation. And then a cool thing that I like to choose is this expand and collapse button. So I'm going to click on that. And so after you click on the expand or collapse, then it shows all these cool things. You can filter it out for just specific days of the week, times, instructors. What I like to use personally is this general liberal education one. A lot of students, when they're picking out their classes, especially for their goal areas, they have to search through all these classes and it's not even guaranteeing that they're available. So instead of doing all that hard work, what you can do is just click on one of these. So I'll click on it, and then we can figure out what's available. Press search. So now you can see everything that's available for this goal area, which is our sciences, our natural world, astronomy, all of that stuff. So I'm just gonna click on our natural world, and here it shows you the days of the week, how it's done, and the delivery method. This one's a hybrid. You can see how many people are enrolled, how many seats are left, what the course costs, what goal area it covers, the description of the course. And this can be really important because it kind of gives you a great idea of what to expect in this class. Next, I'm going to go to review my plan. And so I just added this. I'm going to click on this button right here to add this to our review my plan so that you can see what happens after this. So I click on it. Perfect. It's been added. So now that we're in my review my plan, you can see that I added that biology class, section 4. This student is already registered for classes, so we're not going to add anything else to their schedule, but I'll at least show you how to do that. So we want to do this biology 100 section 4 class. We're going to click a little checkbox and then do select proceed to register. Also, when I get done, you can remove things from your wish list if there's too much for you going on. So I'm going to clean it up later. So in a normal, if you were registering for this class, you just put in your password, your star ID password, and then you just press register. But I will not press that just so that person don't end up in biology. Next, I'm going to click on view modify schedule. So here you can see all the classes that the student is registered for. You can also see like who your advisor is, what your major is. Right now, the student is just assigned to an advising office, but some students, when they become juniors, seniors, 3rd, 4th, 5th year students, you will see an actual name there. You can also print the schedule so that it's in a nice format for like your binder or something. You can click the withdraw course. If you don't want to be in a class anymore, you can edit the grading method, all of that. So next, I'm going to click on registration holds. Here, if you had any holds, maybe financial obligation holds, immunization holds, maybe your athlete, you'll see those there, and those holds do prevent you from registering, so you definitely want to reach out to your advisor. Next is access codes. A lot of students do have access codes assigned to them from whether it's their department, whether it's their major, or just the college in general. You would get a code from that person, advisor, place, college, and then you just put it here. The code is unique per semester, so you cannot use the same code every semester. And then here, lastly, we'll look at the registration window. This will show you when you're allowed to register. For example, this student for fall 2020, when they registered, they did it on April 10th, 12:30. That's when they're allowed to do it. I highly suggest doing it as close to that time as possible, just because classes fill up quickly. And so if you can just get in there ahead of time, get your classes registered, you're all good to go. Typically, the earlier registration window just means the more credits you have, and the later your registration window is, the less credits you have. So yeah. Next, we'll look a little bit at academic records. So now that we're in academic records, there are a few things that you can check. You can look at your grades, you can look at your unofficial transcripts, you can also look at your degree audit report. So each one of these check grades, you can just press get your grades, and it'll show you what your grades are for the different semesters that you want. You can look at your unofficial transcript. I'll click on that. Here you can choose to look at it chronologically. You just press get academic records, but that has a lot of private information, so I'm not going to show that today. But what I will show is your degree audit, because this next thing is literally your life here at MSU. Now that I'm in there, you're going to want to click on the requested degree audit. Now I'm already logged in, but if you haven't logged in in a while, typically you'll have to put your password in, your star ID password, make sure you have Minnesota State Mankato, and then it will eventually bring you to this page. And so here, it's going to show your majors or your minors or whatever your program is, and it might show a couple of the other programs that you could have had. If you are in the process of wanting to change your major, you can also see what your degree audit looks like as a different major if you clicked on select a different program. But right now I see the one that I want, and so I'm just gonna press run declare program. So once you come to this page, you'll see your different programs. Make sure you click on the view audit one that is associated with your major. For the example today, we're gonna go with the communication studies. So click on it. And now I'm looking at, or in this case, we're looking at your student's life here at MSU. So right off the bat, you can see in this corner, there's a pie chart. Red means unfulfilled, so those are classes you have not taken. Green means you fulfilled them, they're completed. Blue means they're currently in progress and they'll eventually turn to green. So you can see, you can also hover over this bar and it'll show you what your GPA is. It'll show your classification, your catalog. Your catalog year is important because it also helps you figure out what classes you need to take because they vary from year to year. And you scroll down some more, you can see the classes you're in. You can see, your general education credits. Now we're going down to your goal areas. So blue, like I said, means in progress. So this person will be done. Red means it's not completed. So they are still missing a science class here. Green means it's completely done. They're done in that category. If you scroll down further, I know I'm scrolling fast, but just trying to show y'all. Then you'll get down to your major. I'll show you what your major GPA needs to be, what classes you've taken, still need to take, and so forth. So that is what your degree audit is. And if you can learn how to read this, it makes picking out your classes a lot easier in the future. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out of this and we're just going to head right back over to e-services. Okay, so now we've looked at your classes, we looked at your academic records, let's look at your financial aid. So just click on the financial aid tab. So here, just on the general financial aid tab, you'll see kind of like if you completed a FAFSA, you can see what steps you need to do, what's left. It'll kind of have these different check marks and red marks if you're finished and not finished. So next we'll click on awards. Awards is what your financial aid has been awarded to you, whether it's grants, scholarships, and so forth. So click on that. So in here, now you can see, maybe in this case, a student got a Pell Grant, a Minnesota grant, they got a scholarship, they were awarded loans, but this just gives you a breakdown of what you were awarded. Not all of this has been applied yet, but it shows you at least what you can use. And then another one that I think is super cool is super duper helpful because it can show you exactly what you're getting per credit level. Some students are full-time students and they take 15 above. Some are still full-time students and only take 12 and above. Some are half-time, three-quarter students. And so it just gives you a breakdown of what you get at each level. So if you were filled out a FAFSA, were awarded financial aid and only wanted to take 6 credits, this student here is getting this amount of money. Now I will say this is unique to everybody. So what you're seeing here is not what you would see on yours, like yours would vary a little bit, but this gives you an idea of what to look for if you're trying to plan how many classes you want to take and how much money you're going to get. And then another one that's pretty helpful is the loan application. Now, not everybody has to take out loans. Some people do, but if you needed to, they kind of keep the loans a little separate just so that you are making sure that this is what you want to do. You understand the things that need to be done and completed. And then once you realize if you need it or if you don't, you can submit this application. Our financial aid office can help out with that. And then it gets submitted. But it's a separate process. They keep that separate just so that you can be mindful of what you're doing. And if you accidentally accept it, you can catch it a little early on. Next, I'm gonna show y'all the housing and dining. So I will say this student is not living on campus, but if you are a student who is maybe new, deciding to go back to campus, you can get an application in this system. Or submit one, request one. So I'll just click on it so you have an idea what it looks like, and then I'm gonna have us come right back to e-services. Okay, y'all, so once you log in with your star ID and password, this is what the screen looks like. There's the housing application, there's the forms. In here you can do things like request different residential halls. You can do the roommate assignment thing in here as well. So just feel free to click around, but you can definitely access this from your e-services. Now we're gonna go back to e-services. So bear with me. Now we're gonna look at your bills and payments. So in this tab, it kind of gives you a general overview of what your different balances are, what you were charged, what you paid. It just gives you a nice breakdown of your account. Also, if you go to another school in the Minnesota state system, your balances will also show up here. All of our systems are to some extent connected, and so if you go to a school within our system, you can see those there. Some students, maybe they transfer from another university. Some students may take a couple of classes at that university at the same time that they're in this university. So that's why you can see these down here. So You can either click on this PDF form or this printable PDF and download it, and you can see your account that way. Personally, I just like to click on the green plus because it's just a little quicker. So in here, you can see all the charges, whether it's your tuition, your books. Over here, you can see, everything that, either your financial aid or you paid personally. So the financial aid is in this column, and then anything that was left over, you'll see in this third column, which is the payment to the student. And so it just gives you a complete breakdown. And the cool thing is that while you're a student here, you can see all of your records in terms of your bills that date all the way back to the first time you started semester here. So if you were in school a couple years ago, you can still see those records in here and understand what was going on. Okay. And so you can also, over on the left-hand side, you can look at your tax form. You can also, forgot to mention in financial aid, you can do your direct deposit so that your money or your whatever money that you get back, or if you have a job on campus, can go to you. But lastly, the last thing I'm going to show today is how to order your textbooks, or at least how to view them from eServices. So I'm going to click on Order Textbooks, and there we go. So with the ordering textbooks, right, you can order them through this system. You can just view them. You can print it out. But this connects you to the bookstore and it access your classes, so it has an idea of what books you need. But you're not obligated to buy them from this system. Like, people will go in person to buy books. Some people will use another bookstore. Some people just want to use a cross-reference for other online websites that they buy their books from. But accessing through here is just a nice way to see what you need. So make sure you enter your star ID and password. I'm just going to pause on this screen. And okay, so now that I've entered the password, there's another screen that's going to ask you what semester. Make sure you pick the semester that you want, and then it'll bring you to this page. So on this page, for example, all those classes that you saw that student was taking, you can see they were in communications. You can see that they're in mass media. It shows you what they need. And so, for example, the student, if they wanted to buy this textbook, this book was $60 this semester. And they can only buy it new, but sometimes books can be bought used, they can be rented new, they can be rented used, they can be a digital format. In this case, it looks like this is an in-person, like a hard copy book. But yeah, so you can figure those out. You can see in these other classes that they didn't really need material, but they needed material down here. And so, like I said, on this page, you can simply just use it to have an idea what you need for your classes. You can actually add it to your cart and order them online and have them ship it to you, or you can have them, just gather the books to you for you and put them in the bookstore. This is not a page that you have to rent. It's just nice to be able to quickly see what you need really, really quick. So I'm about to go back to eServices and we're going to finish it out here, y'all. So that was a quick overview of eServices. I'm going to close out of this and then we'll continue on. Okay, y'all, so hopefully you were able to learn a few things looking at that eServices videos, like checking out your classes, registering for them, looking at your bills and payments, quickly how to access your financial aid, and even your degree audit report. So thank y'all for watching this video, and I'll be back with some more tips for y'all soon. Bye!